In Bikini Bottom one day, SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, and Squidward decided to sunbathe on the beach. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy went into the sea to swim and have fun at the beach. Squidward, however, read his book under his umbrella with his sunglasses on to avoid getting sunburned. However, SpongeBob had a funny idea. He and Patrick covered Squidward's umbrella with sand using the sand Sandy had gathered to build a sandcastle. Squidward suddenly noticed the shadow while reading his book. But he couldn't close his umbrella because of the sand covering it. Squidward wondered what the sand coating was when he looked up. But at that moment, SpongeBob and Patrick threw sand at Squidward and freed him from the sand coating. Squidward became angry when he got rid of the sand. However, some of the sand Sandy had gathered to make a sandcastle had stuck to Squidward's book. When Squidward opened his book, the sand started flying and stuck to his face. While Squidward tried to clean the sand off his face, Sandy, SpongeBob, and Patrick came up with a new idea. They decided to play a prank on Squidward called, putting on Squidward's face. Sandy brought the ingredients to make pudding, and SpongeBob and Patrick started pouring the pudding on Squidward's face. At first, Squidward didn't understand what was happening when the pudding was poured on his face. However, he realized that the pudding had hardened on his face after a while. When Squidward looked in the mirror, he saw the pudding sticking to his face and became angry. But SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy's laughter infuriated Squidward even more. Squidward started chasing them and left pudding traces everywhere. SpongeBob and Patrick tricked Squidward and led him astray by running away from the pudding traces. Sandy smiled behind them and followed them. Finally, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy stopped chasing Squidward and started laughing together. When Squidward went to the bathroom to clean the pudding off his face, Sandy, Plankton, and even Squidward couldn't stop laughing. However, at that moment, in the Krusty Krab kitchen, where SpongeBob's favorite food, Krabby Patties, were being made, another event was taking place. Just at that moment, while SpongeBob was preparing a Krabby Patty order, an ordinary rabbit ear fell into the hamburger. SpongeBob threw the Krabby Patty he was holding up in the air and yelled, "How is this possible?" When all his friends saw the rabbit ear in the burger, they laughed until they fell to the ground. SpongeBob thought, "How can I do this?" SpongeBob did his best to solve the problem with the rabbit ear, but he couldn't succeed. Nevertheless, he managed to make his friends happy with his good intentions and funny antics. After finally solving the rabbit ear problem, SpongeBob continued to serve Krabby Patties to his friends. As everyone enjoyed their meals, SpongeBob continued to tell his story. It was so funny that everyone couldn't help laughing. SpongeBob's story became legendary in Bikini Bottom. Now, Krabby Patties are not just a delicious food. They are also associated with SpongeBob's hilarious story.